this leadership contest is still going on. And it turns out, I think that you were absolutely spot on when you said, I think a few months ago now, you said Kemi Badenoch was an interim leader, a caretaker.
To work out who they are, what they want, what the policies are, and the direction of travel they're going to go in. Tories got a hammering at the election. Worst defeat in my lifetime. I think it's the second worst defeat ever for them. Surely they've learnt their lessons, and the leader they've elected now must be doing a good job and is ready to build the party back into the amazing Conservative Party we had in the 80s. Is that happening?
No, and I've got to eat a bit of humble. I've got to eat a bit of humble pie here as well. I mean, as many people know, I was a Tory member, stood to be a Tory councillor. I left the party. I can't remember now, 21, 22, something like that. Um, I preferred Kemi because I thought she was pretty sincere in most things she spoke about, other than immigration. I thought Jenrick was very disingenuous. He's never been this right winger in the Conservative Party. In fact, he's been very happy to go where the wind blows, and just as long as he gets a cabinet job, he's never really given a toss what the Prime Minister believes in. However, Kemi Badenoch has been an unmitigated disaster since she came in to be Conservative leader. She is constantly floundering at PMQs. I mean, if you're making Starmer look fairly competent at PMQs, then you're not good at the ballot box. She was actually quite good at the ballot box as a cabinet minister, but maybe the pressure's too much for her as leader of the opposition when all eyes are on you. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. This leadership contest in the Conservative Party, I've come to the conclusion it's not over. This leadership contest is still going on. And it turns out, I think that you were absolutely spot on when you said, I think a few months ago now, you said Kemi Badenoch was an interim leader, a caretaker. And that's exactly what she's going to be. If you look at news channels now, places like Talk TV or GB News and stuff, Robert Jenrick is everywhere. He's like shit in a field. You can't move for him. He is still campaigning for this leadership contest, and he's still saying the same things, like the Farage-esque things, if you like, that he was saying during the leadership contest. And he's actually doing, I would actually say he's doing a better job of opposing Labour just by sitting behind a microphone than Kemi is doing, or for that matter, anybody sitting on those Conservative benches is doing at the moment of opposing Labour. And maybe it's not Kemi's fault. Maybe she was pushed into it. Maybe people are calling her a globalist shill and things like that. So maybe it's not entirely her fault, but I'm afraid she's not up to the task. Unless there's a miraculous turnaround, she's not up to this job, and she'll be lucky to see next Christmas. Very, very lucky indeed.
The Tories got a beating in July this year, a severe beating. And what they decided was we need to elect the continuity candidate, which was Kemi Badenoch. They they haven't had a discussion internally yet about what the Tory party is about, what the Tory party stands for. All they know at the moment is what it's been standing for 14 years. We don't want, and we don't want to elect it again. They must know that. But the reason why I thought she's the interim leader is because this is going to take several years for them to work out who they are, what they want, what the policies are, and the direction of travel they're going to go in. So they picked the continuity candidate, which was a mistake. I wouldn't have voted for her. But the leader they need will depend on the party they want to be. And I don't know if they're going to make those changes until they get another hammering at the local elections, a couple of years on the trot, local elections being hammered, or until there's a coup, because the heart of the Tory party is up for grabs at the moment, and we don't know who's going to grab it. Is it going to be the Tory Lib Dems, the Wets, or is it going to be the true Tories, the ones who are more like Farage, who want a small state, who want the end of the wokeness and want end of immigration, and they've not had their internal civil war yet, and that's to come.
Well, there's still a lot of those Tory wets there. There are still some of the right wingers there, like Priti Patel and Suella Braverman. Personally, I think Suella Braverman is just hanging around for now, just to see how it plays out. I think she's going to end up in Reform UK sooner or later, anyway. And she'd be very welcome, actually, in my eyes as well, to go to Reform UK. She's very good. I do accept, though, that Kemi Badenoch has taken over a thankless task. She's got almost an impossible job. how do you unite a party that is so divided in its beliefs that they can't even get together during a general election campaign to give out the same message, a united message? And it would take an exceptional person to do that. And I'm afraid I actually think it's a pretty impossible task that with how divided they are. They call it a broad church, but it's just division. And Kemi Badenoch obviously isn't up to the job. It's probably not all her fault either. I mean, as I just said, it would take someone supremely confident and very, very effective in the leadership skills, in the vision for the country to inspire this party to reunite itself again. And you're probably right. They'll probably go through two or three leaders before they even manage to get close to reorganizing themselves. And by then, they could be a third or fourth party in the country. They might not even be the second party in the country anymore. But I do, in that respect, I have some sympathy for Kemi. But then again, we can't forget she wanted the job. She put herself up, and now if she can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen.
And never forget, she was involved in the government for 14 years. She's not clean on this. The 14 years of failure, she's got her hands on a lot of it because she was a senior Tory in the ranks. That's why I despise all the senior Tories who were in that government. I don't want any of them leading the Tory party because they're all damaged goods, if you ask me. They either believed in it or they're just career politicians, didn't care, or they were too weak to stand up to what was going on. Any of them, I wouldn't want any of them.